All right,
Okay.
video 4.
So, all right, making my bread now. So, I'm going to just stir the yeast a little tiny bit. And I'm going to, at the end you should be on the other angle actually. You should be over here coming back. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit in. And I'm going to squeeze the butter. Don't put your fingers down through the flour. Okay, when your fingers that's smooshed up enough, now you're going to take in a little tiny winchy bit of little tiny winchy bit of flour at a time. You see how like it's getting a little thicker. Okay, you don't want it to get right thick, so you add a little tiny bit more. Videotaping now, I like to just screw this up.
No, you won't.
Okay, you see how I'm doing it? It's a little tiny bit of flour coming in all the time with it, really. When it's watery, then you add a bit of flour. When you feel it's getting a little thick, then you add a little bit more. I'm going to lay that down for a second now. See me, this is what I normally do. Spin the bowl. You can feel it getting thick already. Like you can feel it on your hands, like it's getting thick. But you notice I'm not putting my fingers down at the bottom of the bowl, down for the flour. I'm not doing that. Really, this wet dough is sticking onto the flour, and doesn't take very long to do. And the reason this is a lot easier than years ago, because years ago you'd make a full bag of flour at a time, like 7 loaves of bread. But this will only make 2 loaves of bread. Okay, feel it getting really thick on my hands there now. A bit more. And if you measure your flour and everything right, you will not need any more water than what I have measured out. Starting to get a little bit thick again. But see how I'm, like when I do this, it's taking flour down from the side. That's what's making it thicker. Flour, you're always mixing flour into it, even though you don't scrape it down with your fingers. Okay, that's really getting thick there now, because I can feel the muscles in my arm and my hands. See me spinning the bowl? Don't know why I do it, but that's it. That's the way I do it. I do make ciabatta bread, but like it doesn't stay moist. You have to eat it like within the day, so that's no good for you. This won't help. Okay, this is getting really thick now. I got one more look to put in. That's the last of the yeast. Just put in a little bit at a time so it won't get too watery on you. I really should have put 2 lots in that time. That's it. Now I'm doing this because I'm basically bringing up the wet dough onto the dry flour, so the wet dough will pick up some more flour. And it's a lot better than that old fog you buys in the store. Lol.
Right now, this is what white flour, but still, it's still better than. There's no preservatives in it. There's no chemicals in it at all
You want
to
to
keep
use,
it around for like 4 weeks.
you want to use whole wheat flour? You can.
Yeah, we do that now and again.
Okay, see now how it's getting thicker here? Now, watch what I'm going to do next.
I'm a little outvoted when it comes to whole wheat flour, by the way.
Yeah, most of us like white here, except Brandon and Deanne, so... Anyway, okay, here goes. Now this is what I do. See my hands look, I mean, you're full of dough, but you're going to gently now turn in the flour into your dough. See that? Turning the flour into your dough. And you'll feel it, it's getting thicker. Now, I'm after doing this again. I said how many cups of water in the beginning? I said 6, I think. And by rights, see, I got 2 wet. Maybe put 7 cups of flour in, Diane. Because now I got to go adding flour. Because it was really too wet. I'm just going to lift it up and put in a big handful. I'm going to put in another handful there. So that's 3 big handfuls I'm after putting in now. So now I'll go again. That should do it, hopefully. See how it's really turning into a nice bread dough there now? My dear, that's all there is to it. Now I put the back of my hand like along the pan to clean the dough off it. Turn it in again. And I don't know if she can see what flour is left underneath there now. Like when I'm turning it in, like there's not a lot of flour left there now. Okay, so she's all turned in. I'm just going to take a little bit of most of the dough off my fingers here now. And I'm going to clean it again. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a handful down there again. I'm not going to, hang on. Just sort of cleaning my pan here now. Alright, put the back of my fingers, getting the dough off it, look. So I got the bottom of it clean. And I'll throw a handful in there. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm thinking, okay, now it won't stick to the sides of my bowl, right? So I'm not hauling in the flour, I'm just turning in the dough now. I'm leaving them 2 handfuls down at the bottom, right? See that? So now you punch it down. Turn it in. Shake it over. I'm just shaking, see, I'm shaking the flour over to the center of the bowl. My dear, that's it. That's it for your bread. If you feel it sticking to your fingers here now in the center, just turn it in again. I don't need it for very long. Used to one time, but not anymore. Big blobs of dough. I'll take that off. Don't make it too dry on yourself, that's all. I just felt it wet in the center just that one time. See, I'm shaking flour over to the under the dough.
So it don't stick.
Now, there's a little, I find it a little bit sticky on your fingers, so I'm just going to take a pinch, look. Oh, my arms are killing me. Good thing I'm not making 7 loaves. I find with this it always stays fresh when you're doing a couple loaves. We don't eat a lot of bread here anyway. It's about done there now. more time now. So I'm turning it in. And again, flick the flour around the bottom of the bowl. And give it one more knead down. Very, very light pinch in your fingers. Just a pinch. So your fingers won't stick. Okay. Now, turn it in. Now, normally I just lay it out here and I'll clean off the dough off my hands. I just like a clean pan myself. So, scrape it all off here. I'm going to throw it in the garbage. Amen. Now take a handful, just a small handful, and sprinkle it around. And I'll just take this and I'll plop it back in again.
But you turn it over.
And I turned it over to the nice side up. And take a sprinkle again, go around the edge, and most of it on top of it. That is it. Just lay it aside now and let it rise. And it's all according to the heat that's in your house. Like, there's no heat on here, of course, now. So I know normally, like in the wintertime, it takes an hour and a half to rise. I believe last week when I made it, it took an hour to rise. So it's 20 after 12 now. So I'll see now what time it. That's good. I'll just let her know then how long it took it to rise.